What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to continue the Gauntlet series. This time we're going to have the Sennheiser Momentum 3s. They're going to go up against my number 2 ranked earbud in my whole collection, and that is the Technics EAH-AZ60s. We're up in the heavy hitter section, ladies and gentlemen, so buckle up because we're about to take a look at these right now. Okay, here we are, down to the final two opponents for the Sennheiser Momentum 3s. Today we got the Technics AZ60s, or EAH-AZ60s, as they have them in the on their website. We're just gonna call them the AZ60s, and of course you have the Momentum 3s here. So first of all, let's talk price. The AZ60s currently go for $229.99 on their website, as well as on Amazon, and for the Momentum 3s, they go for $249, both on on the Sennheiser website and as well as on Amazon. Let's take a look at the cases. I love the fabric feel of the Momentum 3s case. The AZ60s has a matte silver finish. They do come in black, but when I got these, the black version was not available. But I do like the fact that no fingerprints, although it does get kind of slippery in the meantime. That's the one drawback on these ones, on this here. And of course you can see, let's take a look. They're just about the same in width. Well, we put it this way. Width-wise, they're still the same, but obviously the Technics case is a much thinner than the Momentum 3s. Although they're both very pocketable, this one's extremely pocketable, as opposed to the Momentum 3 case. Okay, so let's go ahead and crack this open. We're gonna take a look at the earbuds themselves. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at these. All right, you can tell, as you can see, the Technics go with a more circular form factor, as of the Momentums have a more squared off form factor. Both of them are very comfortable once you get them in, and once you get them in place in your ear. Both are very light, very comfortable. And as far as the touch pads, they're very intuitive. Doesn't take much to get them triggered to execute whatever commands you want them to do. I like the AZ60s. They kind of remind me of a smaller version of the XM4s, how they got the round ergonomic end, which sits back into your ear well, as I call it. Sits right in that pocket there, and once you twist and lock, they sit right in there, and it's real light, and of course gives you great seal, once again, with the correct ear tip. Remember, like I said before, I'll continue to say it, the correct ear tip makes all the difference when it comes to noise canceling as well as sound. And as we take a look at the Momentum 3 earbud, like I said, you have the square form factor, kind of like the CX True Plus earbud. They went from the round form factor of the Momentum and Momentum 2s, and they came out with this square form factor. Like I said, these ones do fit really good. The key is the fin. Once you get the proper fin put in, as well as the ear tip rather, once you twist and lock, these stay in place fantastically. Both of them are great for the gym. Okay, they both excuse me, are IPX4 water resistant, so you're good to go there. And they're very light. You can go in and get your workout in, you can do your running and everything like that, and you don't have to worry about these guys falling out. Now, like I said, both of these rock Bluetooth 5.2. As far as codec, the Technics, they support AAC, SBC, and LDAC, whereas Momentum 3 support AAC, SBC, aptX, and aptX adaptive. Okay, as far as battery life, excuse me, the AZ60s can give you up to 7.5 hours of playback time. Where with the case as charging, you can get up to 25 hours. Whereas with the Momentum 3s, you can get 7 hours of playback time on the earbuds, and with the case charging, you can get up to 28 hours. Now, granted, this is subjective depending on your listening habits, like how loud you have them. Are you using ANC all the time? Or you're not using ANC at all? That type of thing. Those play into the factors. So that whole thing is those are just your baselines, but or actually maximums. But like I said, your hours would vary depending on your usage. So as far as quick charge goes, they both support it. However, the Technics does not have wireless charging, whereas the Sennheiser case does. And with the Sennheiser, excuse me, with the Sennheiser case, 10 minutes gets you an hour of playback time, whereas with the AZ60s, 15 minutes would get you about 70 minutes of playback time. So just over an hour of playback time with 15 minutes of charge via the USB-C port, because the case does not support wireless charging. Okay, so excuse me, allergies is kicking me. Okay, so as far as multi-point connectivity, Technics have it right out of the box. The Momentum 3s does not have it yet, but with the future update, that feature will be activated. Technics also the earbuds also support a special feature called Just My Voice, which is when you're doing like mainly on calls, it will definitely just pinpoint your voice and then muffle or deaden the background noise so that the other person on the other end of the phone will hear you real clear and don't have to worry about any background noise interfering in the call. So that's a great feature to have on there. And that's another thing with the Techniques that I noticed that the Momentums do have, and I want to point this out real quick, is the Momentums have, I don't know if you can see, let me get that closer. They have a wear sensor right here. Basically, when you take the earbud out, if you have the wear detection feature turned on in the app, when you take these out, your music will either stop or pause. And then when you put it back in, they will start up again. If you notice, they do not have the wear sensor in these guys. I think that's a big drawback. That's not a deal breaker by any means, but just something you would think coming in at this price point, they would have that in there. Okay, just wanted to not sidetrack and get that out of the way. That was something that just bugged. I love these, but they just bugged me about it. Okay, like I said, no wireless charging on the case. You get wireless charging here. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go and take a look at the apps. So first up will be the Techniques. So let's go ahead and grab my phone. Actually, no, we're going to do the Challenger first, the Sennheiser. So let's go ahead and get him set up. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and we don't need both screens right now, so let's go ahead and look at me fumbling. Let's go ahead and get him. All right, he's already ready to go. Look at that, connected in. So let's go ahead and pull up the app. Let's take these guys out. We'll put them in for right now. All right, let's go ahead and get into the app. Smart control. All right, it's connecting to, as you can see, it's already connected. And here we are. Now in the app, you will see you got the picture of the earbuds, Bluetooth label saying connected, and battery strength is at 100. Unfortunately, they don't have the battery strength for the case. but hopefully in the upcoming update they will include that. Okay, you have your connections. It will show all your devices that you're paired to, that your device has been paired to. As of right now, as you can see at the top there, it says Momentum Wireless 3 can only connect to one device at a time, or one device at once. So until once they get the update, then there'll be multi-point, and then you can go ahead and pick which one you want them to connect to, or turn off and switch them if you need to. Okay, so let's go in. We go down to the equalizer. They have a 3-band equalizer here. Okay, you can got for bass, you got your mids, and you got your treble. You can go ahead and set it up however you like. I have it set to this one. This is my set right here. But when we do, we're going to make sure that these guys are set up properly too for the sound test. And then if you scroll down, you got the bass boost option, a little special EQ boost for bass. And you also have it for podcasts, which it will emphasize vocals more, or speech and everything. So let's go ahead and, like I said, and then the sound check is an app where you can set up different presets as far as your equalizer and everything. I still haven't done that yet. I'll get into that eventually. And then of course you have your transparency mode. Right now is currently off, but if I hit on, I can hear things. There's a fan running in the background. I can hear that. And then of course you can turn down the intensity, how much transparency you want, all the way down to nothing, to basically a passive active noise canceling. Then you can turn it back up, and then it opens up and allows every other sounds in. Okay, you can do the same thing on play. If you have music, it'll pause music. When your music pauses, rather, then it'll kick in your transparency mode, and at whatever setting you choose it at. Okay, so we'll put it back on here, so that way I'm not yelling or sound like I'm yelling to me. Okay, so then after that, you go down a little bit further, you have your noise canceling. Now, excuse me, when you do have that on, when you do switch it on, it will turn off the transparency mode. As you can see, transparency is turned off, ANC is on. Everything just went quiet. I cannot hear that fan at all. I cannot hear it, which is great. Okay, then you have the anti-wind. So that's a wind noise, resistance. So it's still quiet. I cannot hear anything. Then of course, if I turn it off, then it'll flip back, and now it turns, transparency's off. So now I'm just quiet, and I can just turn music back on, turn it on with music, and you can go ahead and rock with that. So now I'm back to where I'm not yelling. Okay, so then you also have your touch controls. Then you can hit customize them. Okay, you got your left and right earbud, left and right earbud, and of course you got the single tap, double tap, triple tap, and then the press and hold. I have mine set like this, where I can go from transparency. I'm gonna switch that though, because I'd rather have noise canceling be my single tap. So, or I might just leave it like that. I don't know. But all right, so then you got your voice assistant. Whatever you want to do for your right earbud. And like I said, you have full function controls over there. Then of course, if you want to just say I don't even want to deal with touching my earbud, you can just turn them off, and then none of your touch functions work. But I'm turning mine back on because I want that. Okay, so all right. So if we go over the settings, of course you have your firmware update. When you need one, you can go and hit that, and it will update your, see if there's a firmware update out there for the earbuds in the app, and that will go as accordingly. Then you got your smart pause rather. Is basically when you take an earbud out, it will play or pause the music. That's where that sensor comes into play, right here. And then when you put it back in, you get the click, and then your music or video will resume. Okay, then you have your auto accept call. I never have that on, because if you turn it on, if say for instance you get a phone call, it will come through, it'll automatically pick up, and then you're off and running there. And I always keep that turned off, but it's a good feature to have if you're always on the go and busy. You got your auto power off, which basically means how long will the earbuds stay powered on before they shut off automatically because of not being used. At 15 minutes is the minimum that you can go, or unless you go never. But that definitely helps with battery life, keeping battery life going. Then of course, then you have your tone and voice prompts. If you go in there, you can set however you want it. Like I said, I'm greedy, so I want voice and tone prompts. You can only do tone only if you want, or none at all. Then of course you can always go in here and set your English or your language. Right now, of course, we're in the U.S., so it'll be English. But if you had other ones listed, they'll be here, and you can switch in between. Okay, so let's go ahead and back out of there. Then, of course, the codec. I haven't done that yet with no audio stream. Well, I'm going to have to go check that. I'm going to check that out one of these days, and I'll report back to you guys on what that feature is. Of course, you got your model name. Then, of course, you got the factory reset, which is self-explanatory. And then you have the sound zones, which basically means you can set your EQ or active noise canceling settings based on where you are. Like, say, for instance, the grocery store, work, the library, your mom's house, at the gym, places like that. So you can set however you want your active noise canceling or your EQ, your volume, however you want those settings to be set depending on where you are. That's where you'll go in and fix that. Then, of course, you have your tiles. Now, this is what shows up on your front page, on this page here. Okay, that's what that does. Okay, so if basically, say for instance, if I say I don't want connections there, then I go back out there, connections is gone. Okay, so we go back and turn it back on, and then let's go back out. There's connections. So basically, everything you want to show on your front page for quick access, you can turn that off and on, and then there you go. Okay, so that's what that is there, and that is basically the app for the Sennheiser Momentum 3s. Let's go ahead and throw that. Man, I can't hold anything. Let's go ahead and throw these guys in. Excuse me. These allergies, I'm telling you. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look into the AZ60s. Let's go ahead and make sure these guys are connected. Damn, there they go. Boy, these things. Okay, I even got the Bluetooth connected notification, voice prompt. When I put the earbud in, both of these, they connect quickly, real quick. I like that. A couple seconds and everything. I like that. So let's go ahead and hit out and go out to their app. No, where I put that thing? There it is, right in the middle. All right. See how long this thing takes. Okay. Now, before I dive into this, I just wanted to point this out that these earbuds had a multi-point connection. Was one of the first ones that I've seen actually that had multi-point connections next to these guys. I'm just dropping everything today. Yeah, the Liberty 3 Pros was the first ones to come out with it that I've seen, and then not shortly after these guys came out, these guys came out, and then they had it, and then out of the box, and then of course theirs worked flawlessly. Where I did have a problem with these ones up until the last update, but these came out when they came out with it. Everything worked flawless on it. I just wanted to point that out, that these guys were one of the first earbuds to come out with the multi-point connectivity outside of the Liberty 3 Pros. Okay, now back to the app. As you can see, this one is all white, and there was no way that I could switch that to like a black backdrop. There's no way to do that, but there. Okay, but so I'm gonna get a little closer here. And so you guys can see. Okay, so now you got the name of your earbuds. See, I changed the name of them. You can always go ahead and hit that arrow key and you can change the name if you want to, or add headphones. Say I have other set there. I have the AZ60Ws. They're somewhere in my bag. So, all right. So then, of course, you got a picture of both the earbuds, left and right, with their battery strength. Then, of course, you can go into noise canceling, which we'll take a look at that. And this, I have to admit, this app is fully featured. And when I say fully featured, I mean this app has everything. They have not cut any corners on this app, which is very impressive. Okay, so if we go into the ambient sound controls, this is where you can turn noise canceling on. And then you can turn exactly how strong you want it. You go around, you want it minimal, or do you want it max, or somewhere in between. You can go ahead and set that up. I keep that at 100% all the time. You can turn them off. Then it instantly, I can hear things now. Now it went back in and now I can't hear a thing. Now let's go to ambient sound. Now everything comes through. But now if you notice, let me get a little closer here so I can keep that in focus. It says right here, attention. Then you could turn that to transparent, which will flip and allow all songs on. Attention will emphasize voices. It will pay more attention to people talking as opposed to just all sound like transparent would. So, like say for instance, someone was specifically talking to you and they're right in front of you. If you have this setting on and you put it in the ambient mode, it will emphasize them speaking. Okay, so I'll leave that on there because I like that feature. All right, so then let's go over to the sound, which is the equalizer. And as you see, I have it set to a V shape setting. Like I said, and of course, you know, the Sennheisers, they're also set on the V shape. But what we're going to do is we're going to leave them both set on my custom settings. We're going to see who's the loudest and everything like that. Or we might just go ahead and put everybody at 0 and see who rocks the best. Okay, so you do have that, but then you also have the custom EQs here, like they're okay. So you have it off. You can turn the EQ off, and then you got bass boost, which will show you get emphasizes bass. Then you can go to vocals, which emphasizes the mids, and then you got treble. Of course, that gives you treble plus, which will emphasize your treble. Dynamic is, I guess, a combination of all three. And then, of course, you got your custom one where you can set it on a five slide equalizer, which is where I have it. Okay, so then we can go into settings now. And of course, settings, you got your voice prompt. You can set that to whatever language we have right now. Of course, we're in the US, so it'll be English for me anyway. And then you can change. Here's where you can change the name of your earbud. See, I changed mine to Ron's, EAH-AZ60. And then of course, you can set which color are they. Now, of course, mine is a silver, so silver is selected. And then of course, you got your actions. You can add a headphone. Say for instance, you get another pair, or you have a different pair of Techniques and you can just go ahead and add them to, so they can actually use the app as well. Then if you have another headset you want to use, say for instance the AZ70Ws, which is in my bag, I want to switch to them. You can go ahead and switch to them. Okay. Right now, again, I'm at there. And then if you, of course, you see those, you can find headphones. Say for instance you lose them, you can go ahead and find them. You have your online manual for each of them. Find your headphones, online manual for each, which is very cool. And then of course you also have the Add Headphones app, or a button here where you can add headphones right here in that side that app instead of having to add them there. All right, so you got the find headphone feature. I just showed you that. You can either emit sound or you can find location as long as you are have the location option in your Android phone enabled, or your iPhone, your iOS device activated or turned on, so that way they can use the your I guess your location app to find out where your earbuds are. Let's see. Then we can go down into system. Of course, the auto power off. I have mine always on. I can switch right now. Will not power off. But then that means you have to put them back into the case and then open them, start them back up. But this is fine. That's fine. You can get 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour there. And of course, you can set that however you want. Then, of course, use your blinking LED, Bluetooth LED. I don't know if it's going to do it now. We'll see if you see it there. It's going to do it again. See it? Yep, it just beep. That shows when it's on. Okay, you can turn that. You can turn it off so it doesn't do it, but that will definitely let you know that it's on. If you have it like saying sitting on a table or something like that. Okay, then you have your connection mode. I have it. It's prioritized on sound. And if you have the LDAC, this is where you would turn it on if your phone supports it. If it does support it, I suggest you go ahead and utilize it. But since my phone does not support LDAC, it's pointless to me. And of course, you have, you can prioritize connectivity, and it's that was set. I guess it sets directly to the SBC codec, and by itself with this one, prioritize sound quality is set for AAC and SBC, as you can see that there. But like I said, if you have an app or phone that supports LDAC, turn that on and enjoy. All right, so let's go ahead and back out. And of course, you have your, let me see where we're at. Okay, suppression of sound and interruption delays. Go in there. I have mine set to automatic. And this one here, okay, it automatically adjusts to suppress, it adjusts on the fly. That's what automatically means. Okay, and then of course you have to suppress the interruption of sound. So say for instance, like you're listening to something and like a horn goes off or something like that. It will help suppress that sound. Of course, the delay might go in there. And then it says suppress sound delay, like completely reduces it. And it said depending on your environment. So we hit that. It's going to switch over. Okay, we're back. And I got everything back squared away. That was something weird with the multi-point connectivity setting and using the app at the same time. Something I digress. It was something I had to fix within the actual app. So, as I was saying, you had this suppression of sound, interruptions, and delays. Then you have your multi-point, where you can turn that off, which will allow it to connect to two devices at the same time. You can turn that off and on. Then you got your operations and sounds. You can customizing your sensor. Okay, these are your touch controls. Single tap, double tap, triple tap, touch and hold. You can do it for the left. This is general operations for like music and audio and video. Then of course you have your phone setting here, left and right. Single tap, answer the call. Tap and hold, rejects the call. Then double tap on the left lowers the volume, but on the right it will mute the call. And then of course triple tap on the left increases the volume, while on the right it gives noise canceling, or noise reduction rather, as they call it. Okay, so you can also do that. And then of course you got your touch sensor noise canceling settings. You can do that, which ones you want to cycle through. You want to cycle through noise canceling and ambient sound, or do you want to do all three, where it goes to noise canceling, ambient sound, then off, and then rotates back around. I just have the two that I need, and then move on. You got your ambient sound modes. You can do attention, or like I said, they looks like some of these are redundant, but that's okay. You got attention and transparent mode. Of course, I have mine on attention to focus on people's voice, more so than just everything. Okay, then you got optimized noise canceling. Now this is where you can say, this is where you can turn it here and say I want it here, and then you hit confirm. Then of course Sound stops when setting is changed. We can cancel that because I want it back up here, and we're gonna save it to where it was. Okay, yep, noise canceling, everything changed on the inside. All right, it disconnected my earbuds again, and now I'm gonna reconnect. All right, so now we're back. Okay, so then you've got voice assistant. You click on that. You can say which one you want. Amazon Alexa, or you got Alexa rather. Then you have your whichever voice services with your app, with your device. Say you got Bixby, Google, Siri if you're here with the iPhone, or you just have off where you don't have any voice assistant. Okay, then of course you got your maintenance, you got your website, you go out there for tips on how to clean, how to take care of your earbuds. Then of course you got maintenance notifications, will basically pop up and say, hey, we got a firmware update, things of that nature. Then of course you got your help options there, hints of use, how to properly set up your, I guess, put in your ear tips to a proper way of inserting them into your ear and things of that nature. And of course about the actual app itself. Okay, and that is the app for the AZ60s. Like I said, it's a very, very detailed app. Some things are redundant. As you can see, I disconnected. Some things are redundant in the app, and some things are, aren't. But it's a very fleshed out app. I like it. I like all the actual features and all the fine tuning that you can do with these earbuds within that app. Okay, so without further ado, let's get down to what we came for, and that is the sound. Now, you seen earlier in the video, you seen how I had the V-shape settings for both of these. So what we're going to do, just so that there's no confusion or anything like that, is we're going to go in to each earbud. We're going to go into each app and we're going to bring down the EQs to 0, and then we're going to see what we got there. Okay, first up, we're going to go with the Challenger, so to speak, the Sennheiser Momentum 3s. Let's go ahead and get these guys plugged in. Let's go ahead and get it connected. Boom, they're already connected. Let's go ahead and dive back into their app. This app is much faster than the Technics app. I really like that. All right, let's go into the equalizer and let's put everything down to 0. I guess I'm gonna have to, I guess I'm gonna have to save that. We're gonna turn off the bass boost. No help whatsoever. And let me go make sure it stayed. Okay, it did stay, so I don't have to save it. Okay, so it did stay. All right, good. So, all right, so we got that set. Everybody saw that. All right, now let's go ahead and get some music going in here. We're gonna go to. We'll do something with some good guitar in it. We're gonna do Prince's "Baby I'm a Star." Let's go. Make sure we're up to 100%. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 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 I got good separation. The the kick drum, you can feel the kick drum. Yeah. Okay. Now, I thought that song would sound much better than that, but of course I remembered that I did turn the equalizers down to 0, and I turned off the bass boost within their app. So this is basically a flat sound. No, flat setting. The sound is definitely not flat setting. The kick drum kicks. Uh, there is separation, but slightly. As far as because of the setting and the equalizer, you can definitely uh, hear the piano. Well, I would say the keyboards in the background. You could definitely hear like the cymbals or the I guess I would call them cymbals from the off the drum set. You can definitely hear that when he's hitting that. So you can definitely hear those different instruments in there, which is great at 0 setting on these guys, and it gets plenty loud at 100%. So these guys are still one of the loudest, even at 0, even at 0 there. So let's go ahead and get into another song. Let's go. Why did I do that? All right, so let's go and let's get another song. We'll come back to him later on. Okay, let's go. Let's see. Let's see. Where's it at? There it is. Rough Riders, The Hood. Let's go. Oh, this hits hard. Even at 0, this hits hard. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay. Okay. Even at 0 setting on the EQ, the bass is ridiculous. I can't wait to get my EQ setting back up as a plane flies overhead. Someone's going somewhere special. I can't wait to get the EQ set back up on these. Oh, that was insane. All right. No, don't want that. All right, so what we gonna do? All right, we're gonna put them away. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to connect the Technics. Oh, that was impressive, even at 0. Oh, I just couldn't believe it. All right, let's go ahead and get these guys connected. All right, they're connecting now. Bam, there they go. Okay. Now, let's go into their app. Let me put these guys in real fast. Whew, that was something. Oh, man. Man, that was something. It has 0 and 100%. That's just blowing my mind right now. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, now let's. All right. I don't know what's up with this app tonight, but they want to show out. It's something with their multi-point connection, and trying to get into the app that just, I don't know, it's something that's just not acting right. Now we're in. All right, so I don't know. That's something more I had to investigate with their multi-point connectivity. I've never had that problem before, so that's weird. All right, so we're gonna put everybody down to 0, 0, 0, 0, then 0. All right, so you see the EQ is at 0 all the way across the board. We're going to actually do this. We're even going to turn. All right, you know what? Let's do this. All right, so now the EQ is turned off. Completely turned off. Will not have anything to do with our findings today. So let's go back in. First things first, we're going to go back to Prince first. Where he at? There he is. All right. So here we go. Volume at 100. Everybody can see that. Let's go. Okay. Not as loud as the Sennheisers. Right out the bat. Not as loud as him. Okay. You can hear the keyboard much clearer than the Sennheiser. Vocals are more clear. Kick drum, you can hear it, but it's not as powerful as on the Sennheisers. Okay. All right. So it didn't get as loud as the Sennheisers, like I said, but you did get better separation as far as the instruments, and the vocals were a lot clearer, more crisper than on the Sennheisers. Okay. So let's go ahead in that song. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Hood. The Rough Riders. Here we go. Right out the bat. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. There it is. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. Okay. Now, they don't get as loud as the Momentum 3s. Let me go ahead and pop these out so I'm not yelling. Okay. They don't get as loud as the Momentum 3s in that genre. And the bass, it kicks, but it doesn't punch. On the Sennheisers, they punch. I mean, even like I say, you seen the equalizer. Hell, the equalizer was turned off on this EQ on the Technics. Equalizer on these was set to 0. Basically, they're even, but you the separation is, you get better. Let me back up. You get better instrumental separation and crisper vocals on the Techniques at 0 setting, or or if the EQ is off on these. You get louder volume, and your bass hits harder on the Momentum 3s. So it's at this point it's whatever your flavor is at this point in time. Right now, whatever your flavor is, I like them both for, and like I said, and let me go back into that was in this. Let's go back and let's revisit Prince. I'm a star. This one got louder. You did get separation and everything. The vocals you could hear pretty good, but they weren't better than these. All right, these didn't have a louder top volume as the Sennheisers, but the separation of instruments, as far as the keyboard, the kick drum, the cymbals, the guitar, you heard all of that. You could pick them out of the song as it was playing, and they were crisp, and the vocals were much more clear, much more crisper on these than they are on the Sennheisers at max volume. So, excuse me, 6 one way, half a dozen another. Like I said, it's depending on what your flavor is when it comes to guys. Now, mind you, like I said, you saw the EQs were zeroed out or turned off, so the EQ had no play in what we had there. But they're both good. They're both good. They both shine in some areas, and they both and then they fell off. Not fell off, but didn't reach that same status in other areas. So it's whichever one you like. I can't even say, like I said with the XM4s rather, where these guys with the EQ set, without the EQ, without being EQ'd, the XM4s was getting trashed. But then I put the EQ on the XM4s, and these guys were still better. But here, I think they've met their match. Where, like I said, it's a toss up. It's a toss up. Now I tried not to say who was the win, who won and who didn't win, but I threw that out the window with the last video. So with the XM4, so right here we're at a toss up, and that's it for this comparison, this Gauntlet challenge between the Sennheiser Momentum 3s and the Technics EAH-AZ60s. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me to the end of this. This has been fun. We got one more for the Sennheisers to face, the final boss, as I would call them. That will be the next video, and I'll have some other videos coming up as well. So if you like what you see, go ahead and hit the like button. If you want to stick around and see the Sennheisers go up against the final boss, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, so that way you'll be notified when that video drops, as well as the other ones I have coming up down the line. We're still trying to get my hands on the Bang & Olufsen's, the EXs. I'm still trying to get my hands on them, and I want to get my hands on the new Sony earbuds that came out, so that way I can put them up against my my lower tier earbuds and see how they do there. So once again, thank you for coming out and supporting the channel. I'm really much appreciated, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.